Welcome. My name is Lee Bratcher. I'm the president of the Texas Blockchain Council. I'm honored to be here with one of our strategic partner member companies, Clayton Lowery, senior manager at Armanino in the blockchain practice. Armanino is doing incredible things in the blockchain space. Let's kick this off with just a little bit of the history here, a little bit of how Armanino became just the book of business in the crypto world that Armanino has amassed. Can go up against any of the big four accounting firms. You guys have become crypto specialists in a matter of a few years. How did that happen?
Yeah, so a long time ago in crypto time, back in 2014, we were an auditor of a little company in San Francisco at the time called Coinbase. And we know where they ended up these days.
You hitched your wagon to the Coinbase.
Yeah, and that experience was great for us because we didn't have expertise at the time, but we built that and we learned a lot through that process. And some of the learnings out of that were the firm was like we should formalize a practice. And unfortunately, this was during the bear market, so we had to convince a lot of people. But we achieved that and launched it at the beginning of 2019 officially, with just a few of us at that time, and have now grown personnel-wise up to, counting our development team, up to about 20 of us total.
Just in the blockchain practice.
Yeah, just
That's
in the
incredible.
blockchain practice. And we're kind of tasked with two things from our charter when we were founded. One of them is subject matter expertise on crypto to all the existing and traditional accounting service lines like tax, audit, risk, IT, security, and all of those fun, exciting things. And then we build our own products where we try to fill gaps in transparency in the industry. If we see an on-chain, off-chain gap in transparency and trust, we try to sit right there in that middle and fill that.
Okay. So you've said something that's important there, transparency and trust, where there's gaps in transparency, because obviously this industry thrives off of transparency, right? It's decentralization, transparency. But there are some things in the industry that are not transparent that maybe the average consumer thinks that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about the gaps in the market that caused you guys to build TrustExplorer. What were the things that your clients were coming to you and asking for that prompted that strategic decision?
Yeah, so back in about early 2019, we had a wonderful client, TrustWorthy, the stablecoin. I think they're the fourth or fifth largest centralized stablecoin these days, and they were really trying to get an advantage over Tether. Was totally dominant in the market at that time, and they wanted to. They were like, "How do we want to be transparent and trust and show all this trust? And so how do we achieve that?" And we started doing they set the standard really back then, where we started doing static monthly reports, kind of this pretty opinion and examination. ATC 205 is what it's called in the accounting standard, where we attest and put an opinion on, hey, there's enough dollars backing all these tokens that they had issued on Ethereum. And then they came to us with we want to do this live. Like, we can do this live. We have all the on-chain data, and we have APIs to all of our bank accounts. So can we build a dashboard together to show all of our token holders that, this is backed every 30 seconds and we're verifying that. And so then we worked with them to build that. And that was the kind of very origin story of TrustExplorer, was just a dashboard at the time to give their holders the transparency of the dollars were there. But then we were like, hey, why can't we combine these two and do it all together? And so we partnered with our audit department, and that was a process, like convincing audit to do something that had never been done in the history of accounting, where you're issuing from end to end, from the data collection, evidence collection on the audit side, all the way to the report issuance. It's all automated, and that was we went line by line down the AICPA standards, mapping how we do this, how we do the old way to an automated way, and then we ultimately at the end of 2019 merged all of those together, and then launched what I consider the real TrustExplorer, which is not just the dashboard transparency, but also the audit opinion layer, where we're generating those and up to every 30 seconds on some clients.
That's got to be an incredible, insightful tool for companies in this space. Talk a little bit more about who, if you can, who's utilizing it. Some are probably public, some may not have been announced yet. I'm guessing Tether is not they're not using TrustExplorer?
No.
Okay. A little bit of inside baseball.
They are all that we did. They're doing now the monthly thing. So even that has sort of,
you're spurring.
Yeah.
The right kind of market behavior.
And when we entered this world, I mean, crypto was in a bad reputation.
Sure.
So we still battle that sometimes today. But that's what our really like theme was and goal as a group, and because we love this space so much too. We're like, we want to help fix the reputation of everyone thinking things are scams and this industry is not real, and we're gonna change that.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's part of what we do at the Texas Blockchain Council too. Far less technical, more in the narrative setting and all that, but you guys do it on the technical accounting and audit side, and it's amazing. So the companies that are using it, TrueUSD, stablecoin, does it make sense for other kinds of like blockchain and crypto applications to use it, or is it pretty stablecoin centric?
Yeah, we've grown way beyond stablecoins. Like theoretically, any asset-backed, any token that's issued on a public blockchain, and we're even starting to work on private ones. There's a little uniqueness to that, but any token on a public chain that's backed by some sort of asset that you can't see the window into, that's a perfect use case for TrustExplorer. So
any digital asset, or a representation of a physical asset that has opacity to it as well. I could see even some physical backed digital assets needing something like TrustExplorer because the information asymmetry is pretty intense, and you guys would bring symmetry to that information disparity. Yeah,
and our next big leap really was CoinShares, the largest asset manager in Europe. They have ETF-like products, ETPs. One's physically backed and one's a synthetic backed, but still hedged by digital assets, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we had worked with them on some IT work previously, and we were like, why can't we expand this into the capital markets world? And that was when we took another big step, I think, because then we started issuing in every 30 minutes these reports that this asset manager in Europe, all these notes that are actively trading on the stock exchange over there are backed adequately by crypto, and the physical product that they launched is redeemable. So if I want to trade in this note, I can always get the crypto for it.
That's incredible. You're bridging sort of the TradFi with, it's not necessarily DeFi, but it's the digital asset ecosystem by bringing that level of trust and transparency to digital assets, which, there is some education to be done there. You guys are probably doing quite a bit of that.
Yes, absolutely. It's getting easier now. Like we add, every time we add a client, it kind of helps explain the story. We recently onboarded Nexo, which is one of the top crypto lenders, and that one had its own kind of unique thing. But now we're showing that everybody that has an account on there, that their assets are backed, and that one we're doing once a day. And we also have another product that's similar to this that we're working on merging. It's more manual, but we call it proof of reserves. And proof of reserves went through a bear market from Mt. Gox post 2014 till we were blessed to think we helped revive that with some help like Nick Carter and a few other big names in the space that never let it go away. And that one's more like point in time, where we do those typically quarterly, but we're working on how can we merge these two in a way together where we can we're verifying all the assets and the liabilities, but we're giving you as a user of any of these platforms, you can come on and verify through the Merkle tree approach that you were included in all of that.
That's huge. Guys, if you are not familiar with Armanino, you need to check them out. If you are working for a digital asset firm that has an auditor that doesn't have the depth of understanding of what Clayton's this is just actually scratching the surface of what these guys are doing, you need to reach out to Clayton. Where can they connect with you? On Twitter? Obviously, they can go to Armanino and find the blockchain practice, but you specifically.
Yeah, Twitter at Clayton Lowery. Also, email. We actually just started a new crypto Armanino Crypto Twitter, so at Armanino Crypto.
There you go.
We're jumping into that game and posting some good memes and stuff. So,
and if you're a crypto, like an accountant who's got a crypto background, I'm sure you guys are growing the practice. Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we're hiring basically anything. Yeah, if you have any kind of experience in that, we'd love to talk to you.
Awesome. Well, Clayton, appreciate you being here for the interview, and
Yeah, thanks
excited
for
to
having
learn
me.
more about TrustExplorer in the days ahead.
All right.